Distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you this evening to Wesley House Student Residence. My name is Dani McMillin, and I am honored to serve as the chair of the Wesley House Board of Directors. I'm delighted to reintroduce all of you to Wesley House Student Residence, fresh from a makeover, and I'd like to thank the donors who made this building's facelift possible. Pacific Western Bank, U.S. Bank, the Nordstrom Corporation Foundation, the Zabel Foundation, Nordstrom Cares, Qualcomm, the City of San Diego, and the San Diego Foundation. Your contributions have transformed this building into a space where hardworking students can feel stability and pride as they work to achieve their dreams. I would also like to recognize our board of directors, both past and present, who have generously contributed their time, talent, and income to ensure that all students have an equitable higher education experience. Please raise your hand or stand if you are a current or former Wesley House board member. Woo! There they are. Let's give them a round of applause. Today, we acknowledge that student poverty and homelessness is real and growing. We affirm that this is not an acceptable rite of passage for our community members. We believe that achieving a higher education creates opportunities that can end the cycle of generational poverty. We know that housing and services at Wesley House support that goal. In that vein, there is nothing I like better than sharing good news about housing opportunities and services. And I have some hot off the press good news to share. This week, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors awarded Wesley House a grant of $23,000 in support of our food pantry expansion project and student support programs. It is my great pleasure to welcome San Diego City Council President Sean Elo-Rivera. Council President Elo-Rivera proudly represents San Diego's 9th Council District and is a housing champion, committed to the realization of his vision of opportunity for all. Council President.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. How you doing? I really appreciate being able to be here. Super special day. We're recognizing 17 years of service to the community. There's all these cliches about what college life looks like, right? You see the movies, and it's partying, and it's succeeding in the classroom. But what often isn't told are the stories about the folks that were just mentioned, right? Those who are living in poverty and really, really struggling to get by, let alone fulfill their potential in the classroom. I know what that feels like. I experienced that during law school when I spent time living in my car, and the pressure that put on me, thinking about where I was going to sleep that night and whether or not someone was going to break into my car, and the lack of sleep, all of that had a huge impact on my ability to learn. It was no surprise, my worst semester performance in law school. My scholarship was in jeopardy, my ability to stay in school was all jeopardized. And, we talk a lot about resilience in students and how resilience is great and we should applaud it. And that's certainly true. Resilience is great, but we shouldn't allow for just kind of readily accept conditions that make it so hard for folks to fulfill their potential. I don't think there's anything to take pride in as a society in allowing for students with a world of potential to have to worry about what they're going to eat or where they're going to sleep at night. We can do better than that. And so I am super appreciative for the work that you all are doing to ensure that students, just a few students, or a handful of students every year, are provided the opportunity to know that they'll have a meal, that they'll have a roof over their heads. And each of those students has that much more likelihood of fulfilling their potential in the classroom and in life as a result of that. So thank you sincerely for all the work that you're doing to provide that opportunity to students to fulfill their potential. We need more Wesley Houses. We need more people like the folks who work at Wesley House and the folks who serve on the Wesley House board. Many, many more. So thank you for inspiring me, and thank you for the service that you do. And with that, I'm very proud to present this proclamation for Wesley House Day in the City of San Diego. And I'll just read the last part. Be it proclaimed by the City Council that this council, for and on behalf of the people of San Diego, does hereby proclaim November 17, 2022 to be Wesley House Student Residence Day in the City of San Diego. you.
Thank you, Council President. Those were inspiring remarks, and I do appreciate your candor and your sincere commitment to supporting our work here. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker. Evie Baez is the lead coordinator for San Diego State University's Economic Crisis Response Team, or ECRT. Our partnership with ECRT over the past year is an example of how a team approach to addressing student poverty can accelerate services and housing solutions. Evie?
Hi, thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be here and to speak to this group. I've been in my role at the Economic Crisis Response Team at San Diego State for a little over a year. I've enjoyed working with the students at SDSU. What I've noticed in doing this work is that, especially in San Diego, it's very common for students to struggle to meet their basic needs. The cost of living here is not realistic for students. Gas prices, grocery prices, rent, utilities, the list goes on. All of it adds up, and all of it is on top of being a student. There is so much on a student's plates these days, it's really a balancing act. A lot of what the Basic Needs Center does and ECRT does is walk this with the students so that they don't have to struggle with this alone, so that they don't have to figure it out by themselves. We connect students to resources in the community, on campus. We get creative. We work one-on-one with every single student to come up with a plan that works for their life, for their goals, for their needs. At the core of what ECRT does is truly about equity. What if every student had their basic needs fully met? What would innovation, learning, and studying look like? What I love about working for ECRT is disrupting this age-old narrative of the starving college student. We often see food as the first place students cut back. You have to pay rent, you have to put gas in your car, but maybe you can buy cheaper food or less food, and suddenly you're only eating once a day. Nearly half of SDSU students, when surveyed, struggle with food insecurity. And SDSU is 35,000 students. So a big part of what ECRT does is we connect students to that long-term support like CalFresh in the community, but we also connect students to that immediate resource, things like our AS Food Pantry and the food pantry here at the Wesley House. All students have access to ECRT and our basic needs support and resources. To connect with us, all they have to do is submit a request for assistance, or they can come visit us in our new Basic Needs Center right next door. We have hygiene supplies, we have menstrual products, we have all these other resources available. Just this year, we've started to expand our pregnant and parenting student initiative, so we have things like we have diapers, we have wipes, we have funding for parenting students as well. We have resources for pretty much everything. We don't like to limit ourselves. We do cover basic needs, and a lot of times that's whatever is impacting a student's financial situation. If anything unexpected happens with a student, please have them reach out to us. We don't want them to hesitate. This is something a lot of students have walked, and we're here to walk that with them. And I just want to thank you guys again for allowing me to come and speak and being a part of this work that we do with basic needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Evie. We are grateful for your partnership. Now I would like to introduce our Wesley House Executive Director, Lisa Norombaba.
I have to wear glasses now because I'm getting old and I can barely read this type. Anyways, well, thank you everybody for coming. Wesley House empowers students to achieve their goals through affordable housing and support services. We support students enrolled in certificate programs, community colleges, and universities because we know that the completion of post-secondary education is a key to ending homelessness and building strong communities. We believe that all students deserve an equitable college experience, that basic needs are not a luxury, but a necessity for hardworking students who simply want to improve their lives and the lives of their families. I'd like to start off by acknowledging our small but very mighty team here at Wesley House. I'll start with Amber Miller. Amber is our student ambassador. Not only is Amber a resident of Wesley House, she also manages our pantry inventory and so much more. You'll learn more about Amber after I speak. Joe Shoemate, in the back, is our development and marketing director. Joe is a passionate storyteller for our cause, which, if you follow our social media, I know you would all agree. And Giselle Paez, not Baez, Paez, is also she's not here today because I think she's in school, but she's our San Diego State University School of Social Work intern. And she is a critical part of our service team, really, and serves as advisor for our new resident activities committee. Sagal Abdullahi, in the back, is our student services coordinator. Sagal started with Wesley House as an SDSU master's candidate intern last year. She is the support in supportive services. Sagal guides our residents and pantry clients through whatever challenges might be standing in their way, from getting back on track with grades to applying for CalFresh, Medi-Cal, and even graduate school. I'm looking at you, Amber. And I also wanted to mention a few other people. Our property manager, Mike Schenkman, in the back. See, these don't help me. I got to do this. In the back. Thank you, Mike. And then actually, I have to point out the person that you see in this picture, Sean Khalifa, is here. He is actually attending UC Irvine. So while he lived with us last year at Wesley House, he was also our student ambassador and then, I think helped recruit you, didn't he? Yes. So anyway, and so thank you for coming. So I'm inspired by these stories of students who fight to achieve their dreams through hunger and unstable housing. These are the students who will someday be teachers, engineers, artists, lawyers, social workers, and maybe even nonprofit leaders, all contributing to their communities. As you can see, the need is certainly great, but Wesley House is finding new and innovative ways to serve. With the expansion of our food pantry, we will be able to better serve our fast-growing list of clients. Through our pantry and housing, we will grow in our support services to be that one-stop shop for all college students, from providing guidance through social services, bureaucracy, mental health referrals, and even providing a place to celebrate the successful completion of the semester. Thank you to our partners, ECRT and San Diego State University, the Monarch School, Promises to Kids, Grossmont-Cuyamaca Community College District, San Diego City College, Just in Time, San Diego Youth Services, Project Rebound at San Diego State University, Home Start, Feeding San Diego, and the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank. This work requires a team effort, and we look forward to partnering with more organizations in the future as Wesley House moves to reach out to students beyond our building. In the year and a half that I have been at Wesley House, I have seen students struggling with food and housing insecurity. Based on regional statistics, it is estimated that there might be more than 11,000 university students in San Diego County who have experienced homelessness or housing insecurity in the past year. Nationally, only 8% of former foster youth graduate from college. We also know that this population experiences high rates of both food and housing insecurity. As among the few organizations providing both housing and wraparound social services to low-income college students in San Diego County, we find that student poverty does not typically gain much attention, even though we know that achieving a higher education leads to good-paying jobs and lower unemployment. In fact, discussions and planning around increasing the inventory of affordable housing in our region often leaves out struggling college students. Homelessness threatens college completion and future job opportunities, thus continuing the cycle of poverty. I have seen students struggling to navigate through the bureaucracy of needed government support programs, but I've also been inspired by students like Trinita, who came to us homeless and working on her associate's degree. Right now, she stayed with us last year as she was getting her associate's degree. And now I'm happy to report she's actually on the East Coast going to school for her bachelor's degree. Homeless 3 years ago, and now she's going to college. So that is why I know our board do the work that we do. So finally, I just wanted to thank you all for your support. Your generous gifts allow us to supply high-speed internet to our residents and clients, provide nutritious, fresh food through our Pantries Food Rescue Program. And by the way, we've rescued over 30,000 pounds of food just this year. And as you can see, we have a very small staff team, so I'm pretty proud of that. And also helps us offer wraparound services to 300 students who are currently registered with Wesley House so that they are able to thrive in school and beyond. So what I hope that you will share our story, because we need to do that, and invite others to support our work. And again, thank you so much for attending and for supporting Wesley House. So next, I will be introducing Amber Miller. Amber is one of our residents, and as you know, she is our student ambassador. Amber inspires me every single day. She is an amazing human being. She helps others by telling her story, but also championing their work to improve themselves through education. And she is an amazing role model and mother to her beautiful daughter, Daniela. So, come on up, Amber.
Thank you. I'm so glad that everyone came out today. I'm so excited. So yeah, I live here and I also work here as a student ambassador, resident ambassador. Gosh, why am I so nervous? Probably because there's so much stimuli and distraction out here. It's different than speaking inside. But I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional. But a little bit about my story and my background before I moved here to Wesley. I do have a background being homeless and having a background in addiction. I'm now in recovery, also justice impacted. And I started running away when I was 12. And because of that, I didn't have the normal education that most people have an experience with. And by the time I was in 10th grade, I attended, I would say, 9 schools in 3 different states. So eventually I ended up being dropped out or being pushed out, whichever way you want to look at it, of school. And it was difficult for me. So to be able to actually attend college is crazy to look back at that and see myself sitting here and having a seat at a university. I feel like I earned my seat here, and it was a long journey for me. I live here with my 13-year-old daughter. She's experienced a lot of the stuff and struggle that I experienced, homelessness. We reunified when I got back out in 2016, and I didn't know that I could attend college because I didn't go through the normal high school experience. I guess I missed that memo. I didn't have college scouts coming to my senior year because I didn't go to I didn't have 12th grade. So I know this might sound funny to some of you guys, but I always assumed that universities were for wealthy people. So I never even challenged myself to go down that road. And until one time in 2015, an officer told me, "Why do you keep coming back in? Like, why don't you do something with yourself?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Why don't you go to school?" And I was like, "'Cause that's for rich people." And they're like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "You can get grants, you can get scholarships." I was like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I started working with a counselor and on my exit plan. And that's when I started that process. So what it's been like for me now since I've been here, it's been amazing. It's convenience. I go to school right in my backyard from where I live. I work downstairs from where I live. Segal, Lisa, everyone here has been so helpful for me. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better transition. And right now I'm studying criminal justice. I'm in my last semester for my bachelor's degree, and I'm applying for my master's in social work. So yeah, it's been a challenge, but I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. I think one of the most powerful things that we see in housing advocacy and service advocacy and criminal justice reform is people who are willing to tell their stories. And I would be remiss not to acknowledge the amount of energy that it takes for you to reshare your story. So it's a privilege for all of us to hear it and understand how important the work is. So thank you. And thank you to everyone for joining us this evening. I do feel that there is great energy and hope on the horizon for college students in San Diego. And Wesley House is excited to work on the front lines with our partners and decision makers so that all students can flourish in a productive, healthy, and secure environment. Today, we do celebrate this facelift to our building and the ongoing success of the services we bring to our community. But while we laud this victory, we also recognize that our mission is not complete. Insufficient food and a lack of stable housing remain major challenges for many college students in the U.S. And in our San Diego community, our housing crisis is far from over. We hope you will continue supporting Wesley House as we expand our programs and services so that all students can realize their dreams. This completes our program. Please join us on the back patio for refreshments, tours of Wesley House, and for answers to any questions you may have. Thank you all very much. We hope to see you all again soon.